This is Gadgets Top 321. In today's video, I'm going to be comparing the Pilot Prera with the Sailor Lecoule. These are both similar steel nib pens. They're in the same price range. They're similarly sized. They're both plastic. Now, the Pilot Prera is a demonstrator, but you can get it in an opaque plastic. I think the opaque ones you can only get in Japan, except I don't know if Goulet Pen still has it, but for a time they had like a blue. They had a blue gift set that came with some ink, but now they're both. They have simple hardware. Just when you compare it to other pens in like the Pilot or the Sailor line, the hardware is a little more simple because these are more affordable pens. So the clips are nice shaped, but simple. Simple cap bands. They're both cartridge converter pens. The Prera is a snap cap, and it is well known for having a satisfying snap. The Lecoule has a threaded cap. I don't believe the Lecoule has an inner cap liner. The Pilot Prera does have a cap liner, and that's kind of a source of irritation with some people because the cap liner is a milky color and it gets in the way of the view of the nib. But with the white cap liner, it's got some white printing on there, so it's not horrible. Like I mentioned, these are both steel nib pens, and they're pretty plain, not ornate at all. The Pilot, let's see, just says Pilot, and it says some other things. It's down at the bottom. It's got the nib size. The printing is very small. Let's see if I can read it on here. Super quality Japan, and then fine. The printing on here is very small, but it's very it's printed very well. On the Sailor, one of my gripes is I guess the printing's okay. It just, something about this Sailor nib just looks less attractive, even though they're both plain nibs. And this one says medium fine. It's got a little anchor on it for Sailor. Let's look at them both together. It looks like, I don't know, almost like the Pilot's maybe polished a little better. I don't know. Maybe it's just the shape of it. The shape of the Sailor just looks very plain. And that's one of the things that was a turnoff for me for a while. I came across the Lecoule for the first time when Jet Pens was carrying it, and I liked the size and shape because it's very similar to the Pro Gear Slim, which is a nice small pen, and I loved this color. This, I think it's rose quartz, but the nib was just so unattractive and looked so cheap that, I don't know, it just gave me the impression that it wouldn't write well. But we're going to test it now to see how these two compare. I've always been a huge fan of the Pilot Prera. It's been one of my favorite pens for a long time. I have a fine nib, which I've got here, and the 1.0 millimeter stub. And I've got both of these pens inked up with black from a cartridge that came with the Lecoule. So they both have the same ink. I can't tell if I'm focused. Let's see. Okay, I've had the cap off for a little while. I never have trouble with hard starts. That's just because I had the cap off showing the nib. Fine steel nib. Let's see. Very smooth considering how fine. This is a really fine nib. Is this focused good? Okay, so that was pretty smooth. Now the Lecoule. This one is medium fine. Looks very similar to the fine. I'll take a closer look in a minute. Okay, let's see. Trying to detect which one's the smoothest. I think this one's just a hair smoother, which, you know, if you're not using them side by side, then you probably would not even detect a difference. Let me zoom out and then pick it up and see if we can tell the difference in... Yeah, they both... There's not much of a difference between the fine and the medium fine. I can't tell... No, I can't tell the difference between the two. So, I mean, really, the writing experience, the smoothness is the same. I think it just comes down to aesthetic. Maybe which one you're able to find easier. It's a little easier to find these. They're more expensive if you buy them from an American retailer. But I don't know. It just comes down to which one you like the looks of better. Because really, they're both the same size. Let's see how size compares when they're posted. And both post securely. Yeah, the Sailor might be just a hair longer. So that's what it looks like. I've got small hands. I mean, yeah, they feel, weight-wise, they feel very similar. Balance feels very similar. The nib on the paper feels very similar. So these are just two great pens. If you're someone with smaller hands, this is a nice pen to pick up. If you're a man, you could probably use these as pocket pens. Now, I will say the plastic feels a little thicker and more robust on the Lecoule. I don't know, the plastic feels a little more thin and fragile. Maybe I wouldn't put this in a pants pocket, but a shirt pocket, this would be great because it's nice and short. It's not going to be sticking way out of your pocket. This one I would feel comfortable, especially since it has a threaded cap. I would feel comfortable carrying this in a pants pocket as well. So, I hope this has been helpful. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.